Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the AllBrands show with me, your host today, Courtney Dowdett. We have got a lot to cover today. We are making an adorable ruffled little bag, and I have been wanting to do this. You know, when you buy fabric, you guys will know this too. When you buy fabric and you look at it and you're like, oh, that needs to be made into something. I don't know what it needs to be made into, but it needs to come home with me. I finally found the perfect project for this fabric that I purchased, these really cute little strawberries and a bunch of other fabrics. So today we are making an adorable purse. Now, I will say this looks very intimidating. It's got ruffles, it's huge, it's got straps. It's not. I'm going to break it down with you. It's going to be so much fun. But I am live right now, which means I can see you in the comments. Hello. Hello, everyone. I see all of our friends jumping on. Now, quick little thing real fast. If you won one of our giveaway items, you will be receiving an email today. Please make sure you're on the lookout for that email if you want any of our giveaways for our giveaway show. Hi, Dee. Hello. All right, guys. So let's jump into it because, like I said, we've got a lot of ground to cover. We're going to get there together. It's going to be great. So I picked out this adorable strawberry fabric. Now, it's not exactly Valentine's, but it's Valentine's enough. Now, if you notice, this heart is perfectly cut out. I did go ahead and cut this out on my brother's scan and cut. I know I was going to do it with you guys, but I was like, we have so much to cover. So the actual design, so the heart is a 15-inch width by 12-inch height. Now, Courtney, how did you do that in the scan and cut? I used a 12 by 24 mat. So think about it. If the width is only a 12, it's like 11.69. If the height is 11.69, well, that just means I have to go boop with my heart when I go to cut it out. And then that way I can get whatever width I want. Again, this was about, it's like 14 point something. I would say 14, 15. But so I can get that height that I want, and it's fantastic. And I even had it cut out, boop, this puffy little batting for the inside. Like, how nice is that? As long as it's underneath the 3 millimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and layer them together. So we've got our outer fabric with our nice batting. Here we go. And they perfectly meet up because they were cut out by a scan cut. Me and Lauren, our imaginary friend Lauren, were talking about before this, and I was like, you can tell I didn't do this. It matches up. She was like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. All right, so we've got that. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and quilt it. Now, you could quilt this however you want to. If you want to free motion quilt it, you can absolutely do that. But I love the idea of it just being a nice block. If it just being the straight lines that create a nice block. So I have already done one. Let me go ahead and pull it over here. So I have done, I don't know if you can see it. It's just simple, but it gives it that nice quilted effect. And since I have that puffy batting underneath it, it gives it a little chunk. Now, if I wanted it to be even fluffier, I could have added an additional piece in there. Now, I wouldn't have cut them out together on my scanning cut one layer at a time, but I could absolutely cut that bit out. And then I could have had it even fluffier. But I knew that my bag was going to be pretty fluffy already, so I only did one layer. So let's jump over to my sewing machine, and then that way we can start quilting it. There we go. All righty, so we're over here to my Avenir. Hello, Avenir. And I'm going to do this on a regular straight stitch. Now, before I do start sewing, I actually want to turn on my guidelines because I love to use a guideline. Up here at the top, if you have a Brother Avenir, you're going to see the little cone right here. That cone is for your projector. So if you want to project. Now, Courtney, I thought projection was just for the embroidery side. No, you absolutely could do it for the sewing side as well. So I'm going to give you a little motion sickness. Everyone's favorite thing. There we go. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but there is a little blue line right here. Boop, boop, right there. That is showing me, hey, this is where you're actually sewing. So this is where the needle's going to touch down. This is great when I'm doing a straight line, so that way I know where I'm going. You can do a small, medium, or large line, but I have no idea why you wouldn't just want the big line. All right, leave me suggestions in the comments. Why would you want maybe a shorter line? Because you can adjust them. The shorter, medium. I use the large line. I'd rather have too much and have it go off the fabric. All right, so that's gorgeous, but there's also something else I want to turn on. Again, more motion sickness. There we go. All right, I want to select this icon right here, right next to it. And that is going to give me my sublines. And I want my sublines, my main line and my subline, because I'm going to come over here to sub, and I'm going to make sure my grid is on. Now, the grid is actually projecting a grid on there, and you can change the size of the grid if you wanted to be bigger or smaller. I have it as biggest size, which looks like, again, motion sickness, looks like that. Do you see it? How fun! All right, so I know we're showing a little bit of fun technicolors right there, but we're going to ignore that. But how fun is that? Now, Courtney, is your line red and pink? Yes, it is. I don't know why, but I feel like the projection, the pink projection shows up so well on so many fabrics, like a variety of fabrics, that I just leave it pink. Also, I like pink. So, all right, so I don't want these blocks to be this small. I actually want them much bigger. So what I do is I have this red line right here that is my actual sewing line. And then I just count 2 blocks over, and I know that that's going to be the width of my block. It's going to be, or my square. It's going to be perfect. So let's go ahead. We're going to start in the center like that. So we've got our red line in the center. We're going to drop our foot. There we go. And then we're going to sew. This is going to give us our base point. Gorgeous. All right, now, remember how I said this was my base point, so that red line right there? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to count over 2. So 1 block, 2 block, and I'm going to sew right here. Also, you can make this go away if you want this to go away. You can make it just go off to the side. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew for this one. So let's cut it. Now, if you've ever had a quilting foot where it has like a little metal bar coming out of it, that shows you, okay, this is where the edge is, so you can get straight lines. Think of it the same concept, but I'm not having to change my foot because there's my sewed line that we just sewed, and I'm going to put that line right meeting up with this one. So that line I just sewed is now meeting up with this line of the projector. I'm going to come up here, and since the projector is so large, I can still have it meeting up even though I'm on a whole different area of my fabric, and drop my foot and sew down. And so while I'm sewing, I'm still making sure that that projected line is meeting up with the area that I've already sewn. Like that. There we go. So now I've got these 2 lines sewn, and they're perfect distance from each other because I used my grid. There we go. We're going to do the same thing and just keep working our way down. Now, if you do not have a projector, that is a-okay. Just get a friction pin and your ruler. You can go ahead and draw it out and then just sew along the lines. But this is just something I get to cheat on. It's great. Or if you have one of those feet with the little metal bars that let you measure it out, then you can absolutely do it that way too. All right, so we've got those lines on this side. I usually like to just turn my fabric. All right, I'm gonna meet up those lines. Drop. But how fast is this, right? Ooh, no, keep going, Courtney. You're not thin yet. Okay. All right, come right here, meet up the lines again, drop my foot. Now, something with your projector, if you ever notice it be a little bit off and you're quilting something very lofty like this, it's got a very high loft to it, just push it down a little bit. Just push the fabric down a little bit and you'll be able to see your projection well. But I don't really have a lot of problems with that. It does pretty well. All right, there we go. So we've done all of these. Now we have a cute little stripe that we've gone and sewn on there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on its side. Now, usually your instinct would be to start from one point to the other. I like to just go ahead down the center of it because then that way I can do the same thing that I just did with sewing on one side of it with a little buffer and then sewing on the other side of it with the buffer. So let's go ahead and drop our foot. And I'm going to go all the way across. All right, now I've given myself an area to be able to count again the squares to be able to do it even. Now that I have one all the way across. All right, drop my foot. Okay. I don't know how much room I'm gonna get on. Oh no, I still got room. Oh, I'm golden. Now, if you notice, once I start sewing, that little menu disappears because it doesn't want to be in your way. Now it's back. There we go. All right, can I get a little last part? No, it's off the end. Okay, well, that's fine. All right, let's turn it around. Again, come over here. All righty, here we go. I think this is our last one. All right, come over here to the other top. There we go. I think I just get the bit of this one. Yeah, I don't even get anything on that one. Oh, we got upper thread. Oh, it like started to come out. Oh no, it did. Darn. All right, let's fix it. Automatic needle threader. I'm like struggling there, huh? There we go. All right, there we go. So we've already gone and we've quilted this whole thing. It's adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and take both tops. So I've got my top here and my top here, and I'm going to go ahead and meet them up right sides together. Here we go. Oh, actually, I'm forgetting a step. Oh, I'm forgetting a step. We get to do my favorite part of this whole project, which is making a ruffle. So let me know in the comments, have you ever made a ruffle before? So this is my cute little ruffle. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. This is her. Now, if you have a ruffler foot, you could absolutely do it with your ruffler foot, but half the time I never know where my stuff is. So this is how I can manually do it. So no matter what sewing machine you have, I'll show you how to be able to make a ruffle. So this is an adorable ruffle, but don't worry. I've got a piece of fabric that we have not done. So this fabric, there we go. This fabric and this fabric were the same before I added ruffles to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take it. Now, a lot of people like to go ahead and I'll show you on this one. They like to take their long strip and they'll fold it in half and then they'll actually ruffle that way. That way there's no raw edge, which is what I did with this one when I was playing around earlier. So there's no raw edge. It was folded in half and I ruffled the bottom of it, which left the top looking like this. But this, I actually left a raw edge. Now, why did I do that? Because once I start washing my bag and playing with it and moving it around, it's gonna fray a little bit and it's gonna give me this like rag quilt effect to the edge of my bag, and that's what I want. But if you don't want it, that's okay. Just go ahead and fold the piece over. Now, this piece was about 4 inches, I believe. So the width of it was 4 inches. This one is closer. I have a ruler right here. 2 inches. Hello, it's in half, Courtney. There we go, 2 inches. Now, how much fabric do you know that you need for your bag? Great question. It depends on how big your bag is. So you want to make sure that it can go around at least twice. Now, that depends, again, how ruffly you want it. Now, if I made it super ruffly and all the fabrics really joined together, well, I'm going to need more fabric to go all the way around. If the ruffles were a little bit looser, well, then I don't need as much fabric. So if you want it super, super ruffly, then we need to make sure that we're adding more fabric to it. So mine was probably about, each piece was about 50 inches long. And I have 2 of them. So it'd be 100 inches to go all the way around my bag for how ruffly that I want it, like this. So again, if you want it to be a little bit tighter, then you're going to want to make sure you have more fabric. They always say 1.5, but I don't agree with that. I think like double. I would at least do double. That's the whole fun part of it. All right, so we're going to go over to our sewing machine and we're going to start changing different things on our sewing machine to be able to do this. All righty. So let me scoot you guys and give you a bunch of motion sickness. Woo! No, just kidding. All right, let's zoom out a bit. All right, so we think our lines right here, I'm going to go ahead and get out of them. And we actually want to come over here to the bottom of our sewing machine. Now, the width is currently at a 0 because it was a straight line. There's no width to it. It's not like it was a zigzag or a decorative stitch. The length we want to raise. Now, I usually say let it go as high as you can. I believe mine lets me go to a 5. All right, we want the 5 for a length. So this is in millimeters, by the way. And then for my tension, I usually just leave it at a 4. They usually say right in the middle. So I like a 4 for my tension. It works great. All right, fantastic. I'm going to turn off my sublines real quick because those, we do not need them right now. There we go. Perfect. All right. So then once you have that, you're good to go. You are set to be able to make a ruffle. All right. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a bit. I want you to be able to see it close. There we go. All right. So now I'm just going to take my fabric. And what I want to do is I want to sew 2 lines next to each other. So I'm going to sew 1 line, then I'm going to go back and sew another. But before I do that, I need to pull up my bobbin thread. It's very important for us to pull up our bobbin thread. So I'm going to lower my needle, bring it up. Lower it, bring it up. Until I hopefully catch my bobbin thread. Aha, there it is. The smallest of tails. There we go. We're going to pull up our bobbin thread. So usually, again, what I do is I lower my needle, raise it, lower it again, raise it, and that should encourage your bobbin thread to come up. Now, why do we want our bobbin thread? Because we want to make sure we leave a really long tail on this. So I'm actually holding the tail over here, this really long tail, because that's what's going to allow us to be able to ruffle up the fabric later. All right, so holding my tails, my long tail over here, I'm going to go ahead and put my foot down, and I'm just going to sew a straight line. All right, we're about to be at the end of our fabric, and I'm going to sew right off the end. All right, stop her. I'm going to raise my foot, and I'm going to pull. Because, again, I want a really, really long tail before I actually cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So now I've got this long, long tail, and I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. So there's our first one right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous with her long tail. We're going to pull a little bit more out so we can get a tail on this one too. And I'm just going to go right next to it, not right on top of it. So there's our original one right here. I'm going to go right over there on top of it or next to it. And we're going to do the same thing. All right, there we go. Raise my foot up. Pull, 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 pull to get that long tail again. Pull, pull, pull. Fantastic. And go ahead and cut it. All right, so we've got that. And you're like, Courtney, that does not look ruffly at all. Don't worry, it will. There's a rhyme to the reason, a reason to the rhyme. All right, so I'm going to lay it out. Now you should have, and ignore my stain where I spilled Totally Awesome. So you should have these tails right here. Now, I like to leave my upper thread a different color than my bottom thread because it's very important. Now, it might be hard to see on camera, but my upper thread is actually a light pink and my bottom thread is white. Am I regretting that choice right now? A little bit, but that's okay. So I know that's an upper. And let's see. Which one are you? You are, oh, you got twisted in the back. That's why. Okay. Here we go. Let me grab my upper thread. Earlier I did it with like a dark red. It made it so much easier. Here we go. Alrighty. There we go. So what we're going to do, there it is we're going to hold the bobbin thread. So those 2 threads that are white at the bottom, because my bobbin was white, we're going to hold those like this in our hand. And then we're going to take our fingers and we're going to push our fabric away from our bobbin. Now, you have your upper threads, just let them mind their own business over here. Now, you notice how when I did that, I'm holding my bobbin thread and I'm just pushing it. So the 2, remember we sewed right next to each other, the 2 bobbin threads, I'm holding those. And all I'm doing is pushing the fabric away from those. Now, you want to be a little gentle because you don't want to be rough because you're going to pop a thread doing that. But if you do that, it actually starts creating a ruffle. So usually what I do is I'll come from both sides. But I'll come from one end and I'll start ruffling it out, pushing it towards the center, coming back, doing it over and over again to make more and more ruffles. There we go. And then once I feel like I have a lot of ruffles on one side, I'll come over here and I'll switch back to the other side and then do it there too. You could just do it from one end, but why? There we go. So I'm going to find my top threads, find my bobbin threads, separate them. Now, if you accidentally pulled the wrong thread, what happens? Nothing. It just won't ruffle. And you're like, wait, what is happening? You just want to make sure that you're pulling just the bobbin threads aside like that, holding on to them, and then pull. So again, pulling our fabric. So I'm being gentle. I don't want to pop a thread. Pull a little bit. There we go. Now you're going to have a lot of random threads around, but that's okay. We always can trim them off later. But how fun is this? How easy is this to ruffle up your fabric? Now, again, when I was talking about how ruffly you want to make it, that's a personal choice. But again, you need to make sure if you are going to make it super ruffly and very, very tight ruffles, that you want to make sure that the fabric, you've cut enough fabric. You can always add more fabric on, but if you want it to be one continuous piece, then you got to remember to measure it. I usually like to err on the side of caution and make my fabric longer than what I actually think I need it, because heaven forbid it'd be a little bit more ruffly, but there we go. All right, it is coming together so nicely. Oh, I've even made it back to the other side. So I'm going to span these ruffles out just a bit. And again, once I go actually clip it on my bag, I can't always span the ruffles out more. So it's not a one and done. I just would have to find the bobbin thread again and stuff like that. All right. There's a really long ruffle. I pull from a few spots in the middle so the thread doesn't wear out. Ah, very smart. There we go. Okay, that side looks perfect. So now I'm just going to make sure I get all these there. So I used to be terrified of doing ruffles. Like if a little outfit I was making my niece or something said to do ruffles, I was like, nope. I would go get like some lace trim or something and I would do that instead. And then one day I was playing around with settings and I was watching a video and this lady was talking about ruffling and she did it. And I was like, are you kidding me? That's all it is? That's all it is. Are you serious? Okay. And now it's so much fun to add ruffles to a bunch of random things. There we go. All right, we're making our way around. And now we're pretty darn ruffled, if you ask me. How cute is that, right? That is so cute. All righty, so now that we have our ruffle, I'm going to go ahead and take our outer fabric right here that we've quilted and lay her down. Here we go. And our favorite thing in the whole wide world, some Wonder Clips. I love Wonder Clips. And you know, they have so many different varieties, but the good old classic ones, can't beat it, I tell you. All righty, so here we go. If you want to go ahead and cut your threads, that's up to you. I like to leave mine on until like the very last minute. Just in case I'm like, oh, I want it to be more ruffly here or anything like that. Until it's sewed down, I don't cut those long strands. It's personal preference, but I like a little insurance. All righty, so we've got our outer fabric here and our ruffles. So I've made two. You could make one all the way around, so that really, really long one, but I did make two. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start pinning it. So I'm doing technically right sides together, but the part that's actually ruffled, the sewn part, I'm going to put towards the outer part of my bag. There we go. And I'm just going to start pinning it all the way around. Now, some people like to just go ahead when they're sewing their outer parts together, put the ruffle in there, everything like that. I like a bit of I like a bit of insurance to know that it is on there good. So I usually just go ahead and I sew it as its own thing. So I just sew it on there, tack it on there, and I know that it's not going to go anywhere, slip anywhere. It's all perfectly portioned and everything like that. All right, so we're just going to go around Wonder Clipping a ruffle. There we go. Wonder Clips are great presents. They really are, honestly. Heaven forbid I get this in a stocking. Oh, I'm fine. It's one of those things that you can never have too much. I swear I'm always losing them here, there, and a little bit of everywhere. So I appreciate additional ones. It's like hair ties. I don't know where those are. It's none of my business. I'm just going to go ahead and buy some new ones. Now, if you feel like I'm adding a lot of Wonder Clips, I am, because I want to make sure that my curves on there nicely and that my ruffles meet up perfectly. So I am adding a good bit. Now, if you want to add ruffles to the front and back of your bag, you absolutely can. I'm just adding them to the front of my bag, but it's really up to you what you would prefer. If you would like a double ruffle, I think that would be adorable. Look great. There's so many strings around here. Goodness me. There we go. All right. What would you do? Would you put it on both sides or just one side? There's no wrong or right answer. Don't worry. It's personal preference. Here we go. This is so, It's really reminding me of those heart cakes I've been seeing around everywhere. The little birthday heart cakes. Those are so stinking cute. I love them. Okay. Now put in the comments, have you ever ruffled before? Does this make you feel like you can now? Are you excited to try to do a ruffle now that you realize how easy it is? And you don't need anything special on your machine. We were just playing with the, you know, the tensions and the lengths, which every sewing machine has. So it's definitely a one side. Okay. Oh, Shay's like, I'm going to Academy. Yes, you are. I saw her the other day when I was in San Antonio. I love getting to see you guys. So that was a happy visit. I love that. All right. I'm just going to meet these up in the center. Now, again, if you want yours to just be one solid piece, you can. I kind of think it's fun when it just opens up right there, but I didn't worry about raw edges. Remember, I want a raw edge. So if you don't, then you probably want to do the other method. Go. Around and around. Okay. I've zigzagged over dental floss to make ruffles. Oh, that's cool. Main problem with Wonder Clips is stepping on one with bare feet. I don't like wearing shoes when I sew. All right, I'm not going to show you my feet right now, but like, I'm not wearing shoes. I'm not. I just slip them off. All right, I always wear shoes that I can slip on and off when I come to the studio. Okay. Look, but you know what? Working in a sewing store, a quilt store, they always recommend against it because, you know, if you leave pins on the ground, like sharp pins, and you step on one of them, not fun getting that in your foot, or heaven forbid a needle. I use Wonder Clips. I don't use pins. I have them just in case I need them, but I usually don't. So far, I haven't had that problem, knock on wood. There we go. All right, I'm unruffling the ends. I made it very ruffly right here. That clip is backwards. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to bother me. Now, how cute. Didn't this give like picnic vibes? I don't know why. The strawberries with this really cute little fabric, it's giving me picnic vibes in the best possible way. There we go. I'm like pulling all the threads to go in one direction. There we go. Okay. And again, I'm just going to clip all those threads off at the end. I'm not even worried about them yet. There we go. All righty. So we've made it all the way around. I think I could make it a little bit more ruffled right here. There we go. Just got to pull that bobbin thread. There we go. Perfect. And then have them meet up. Like that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, I tell you. All right, so I am all pinned all the way around. It's the cutest little pie. It's cutest little pie there's ever been. And what I'm going to go ahead, that is so cute, is I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around. That way I can go ahead and just tack down my ruffles to this. If you prefer doing it a different way, or making it where we are going to put the other outer right sides together and sew the bottom, you can. But I prefer to know my ruffles are down. So let's jump over to my sewing machine. All right, we're back at my machine. There's about to be Wonder Clips everywhere. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start from the top and just work my way around. Taking off my clips, I am going to bring my needle up. All right. I'm going to slow my machine down just a hair. We're not being speed demons right now. Maybe later. All right, let's get that foot under there. There we go. All right, now if you want to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, be my guest. However, I am probably going to do just a little hair over because I want to make sure that everything's catching properly. All right, and I did slow it down. We are not being speed demons again. We are wanting accuracy. We're going to slow it down more because that scares me. And work our way around. Now, Courtney, why don't you use a foot whenever you're doing? Why don't you use your sewing foot or your pedal when you do this? I I could. I absolutely could. But it's a habit of mine to feel like I want to be more in control. And for some reason, the button makes me happy. Unless I'm piecing, then a lot of times, yeah, I'll use my sewing foot. All right, we're getting to the point. Oof, there's so many threads everywhere right now. Just break it. There it goes. Make sure that sits back down on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I was all in your way. Lauren, our imaginary friend's probably yelling at me in the comments right now. Like, move. Huh. All right, let me readjust. Oh, we're almost all the way around. This is exciting. There we go. I'm going to pull you guys in closer so I'm not going to be in your way. There we go. Flipped underneath. There we go. All right. I feel like the one's attached to the thread. I was like, why do I hear it? Probably should have backstitched. It's fine because I'm about to have to go over this all again. All right, so we've got this. So cute. I really got to get a better rolling chair. There we go. We've got this. It is adorable. Oh, it's so cute. I am going to go ahead and find some snips real fast and snip off some of these threads before I lose my mind. There we go. From all of our ruffles. We don't need them. Our ruffles are tacked down. They're good to go. They're not coming off. And if they do, I've got questions and concerns. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just get them out of my way. Oh, it looks so cute. Okay, a little bit of sneak peek here. Ready? How cute is that? How cute is that going to be? Okay, focus, Courtney. It's so cute, right? I know. All right, so I'm gonna clip some more threads. All right, so now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead. We're going to take the other part that we quilted, so the exact same way that we quilted our first one. I just went ahead, little movie magic, and did that before the show. That way you wouldn't have to do both. There are so many threads. And I'm going to go ahead and put them right sides together. Now, again, if you want to ruffle the outside of the back part, you absolutely can. I just didn't. I just ruffled the front, but it's up to you. And we're going to go ahead and sit them together, making sure all of our nice ruffles are inside. There we go. Now, I am just going to sew the bottom part. I'm actually going to stop about here. I'm not going to sew all the way around because I want to be able to put my lining in later. So I'm going to go ahead and wonder clip just the bottom part. Okay. So I know that I'm probably going to go ahead and sew. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. So right here. So I'm just going to put a wonder clip right here so I know where my stopping point should be. Right there. So I know I'm going all the way around just on the bottom part. There we go. Again, if you wanted to add the ruffles that part, you could, but it's not sewing the top. So that's why I just went ahead and did it separately. I know, right? It's not even done and we're like, it's so cute. It's not even done yet, but it's exciting. All right, we're gonna clip over here too. Okay, and I'm just gonna make sure that it's even. There we go. All right, adorable, adorable, adorable. And again, we're just gonna sew all the way the bottoms. So if you notice, I put clips here, all the way down here, right in here. We're just sewing the bottom part like that. Is that tilted? Oh yeah, I added an additional clip I didn't want. There we go. So just from clip to clip, there's no clips on the top. All right, let's sew it. This bag really comes together pretty quickly, in my opinion. Yes, I did half of it before the show for time's sake, but in the grand scheme of it, not too bad. All right. A little before, a little after. There we go. Sorry about my being in the way real fast. I'm just gonna go back a little bit and turn and go. Making sure everything's meeting up like a like. Yes. All right, I know that's where I need to stop. So I'm going to stop right here. Oops, sorry, I am all up in the way today. Back stitch, there we go. Cut, cut, there we go. Thank you. All right, so now we've got the bottom of it sewn like that. Why do I have so many threads? Just cut the threads. There we go. All right, so now we've got that. It's so good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do my straps. Now, I did do one strap off camera before we started, just for the time's sake. So our strap fabric, what I did was I made mine. I love having a ruler right here real fast. About 3 inches. How wide are you? You are 3 inches by, let's see, 12, 24. Let's see. That's a weird size. Let's see. 38, like 42. Why 42? I don't know, but that's what my brain told me to do earlier. So I've got one over here ready. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. And I have my Aliso little project iron on. I absolutely love my project iron because it's small. And when I need to just get into somewhere quickly, or when I'm doing an applique, she fits in a 5x7 hoop, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead, flip it over wrong sides towards me, and I'm gonna fold each side towards the center. If you want to actually fold it in half like this and then give it a quick little iron to know where your centers are, you absolutely can, but I usually just eyeball it, to be quite honest with you. So there we go. I know where my center is because I've ironed it. We're going to fold them both to the center like that, and then we're going to fold them in half like this. There we go. And then iron. And that's going to give us our strap. If you want to give it a little wonder clip to while it's cooling, you know how whenever you curl your hair, you sometimes put a little clip in there just to hold it while the curl's setting. Same concept for me. There we go. First live, yay, Rebecca, hi. Hello. Rebecca, we are live right now. I'm so glad you made it. We're just cutting up, we're making a bag. There we go. I love a good novelty bag. And I don't have a Valentine's one. And I don't want a small bag. I need something that actually holds some things, you know? So I'm very, very excited about this. Because it joins some of my favorite things together. Strawberries and quilting. So it's a lot of fun. So we love all of it combined. There we go. So I am just taking this long piece and going piece by piece and just ironing it down. There we go. All right, let me see. Oh, y'all are so sweet. You're all saying hi. Hello. My friend gave me a pink tool, the pink tool, and they always seem to manage to come back to me. Oh, funny. Love it. All right. You don't have to wonder clip it. It's just me. It's just my preference. There we go. I keep going to the end to fold it. And then I'm like, when you have all this other part, you need to fold. Come back. There we go. All right. So we're at the tail end of it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew 2 lines down. So I'm going to sew 1 line towards the opening and then 1 on the other side. And that's going to give us this really nice effect to our strap. So let's jump over a sewing machine. All righty. Here we go. All right. Love having the projected line. Awesome. All right, so this is where the opening of our fabric is. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to sew near it, not on it, but near it, all the way down. Ooh, much faster. There we go. Taking some wonder clips out. Oh, I tried to take the wonder clip out while it was moving. That's such a bad habit to do, and I moved the fabric. Is it bothering me? Yes. Am I going to go back? Also, yes. Because look, now it went through the center. Oh, that bothers me. That's fine. We're going to keep going. That is not meeting them correctly. There it goes. Oop, there it goes. That could have looked nicer. That's me rushing. All right. There we go. So we've got that one. Could have done better on the tail end. We won't talk about it. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it back over. So this is where I sewed before. And I'm going to go ahead and just sew over here now. Gorgeous. There we go. And that quickly, we have a strap, which is great because, again, I love how it gives us that double line right there. I don't know if it's showing on camera correctly. That double line just makes it look really, really nice and professional. So I'm going to go ahead and take my inner, there we go, or my outer, sorry, my outer. And I'm going to take both my straps like this. I usually like to make sure that they're not twisted in any kind of way. And we're going to take them and put them on the inside of our bag. So we're going to tuck them in. Boop, boop. There we go. Oof, make sure they're not crooked. And we're going to go ahead and wonder clip them. And I like to give them a little stitch, just a real quick stitch. That way I know that it's where it needs to be. Now, I like to leave a little bit of tail out like this. That way I'm assured that it has caught. It doesn't have to be that long. I'm just a little extra, heaven forbid. There we go. Little wonder clip. And then come over here to the other side. Again, make sure that it is not bound up in some kind of weird way. Okay. Bring it to the inside. And put a little clip. And then just throw the rest of that in there. There you go. All right. And we're going to do it to the other side. So our little strap we have. Make sure that it's not any kind of weird way. And then we're going to put it to the other inner part of our fabric or our bag. But I like to lay them together so that way I know, okay, they're meeting up either side of the bag. They're going to meet up like this. All right. And we'll wonder clip that one down. Like that. Okay. All right. Our other side. Again, making sure it doesn't wind up in a weird way. I've done that before and then didn't realize it until I flipped my bag outside. And I was like, oh, come on. All right, there we go. So we've met up these. Wonder clip them. This is so cute. I love this fabric. Thank you, Past Courtney, for being a hoarder with fabric. All right, and I'm going to bring it over to my sewing machine. Again, just stitch it down just real quick. Just a little quick stitch just to make sure nothing's going to go where I don't want it to be. Little quick stitch, go backwards. That's all I want. Just that little quick assurance that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, on to our other one. Little quick stitch back. Perfect. Yeah, our next one. Okay, last one. All right, gorgeous. All right, so we've got that. We've got our straps on. We want to make sure they stay on the inside. We don't need you yet, girls. But there, oh my gosh, it is looking very cute in there. All right, so now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and take my inner fabric. My inner fabric was cut the exact same size as my outer fabric. And what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna sew the bottom, like how I sewed the bottom of my outer fabric, exact same concept. We're just gonna sew the bottom of it. All right, so how many times can Courtney say so? So we have them twice. There we go. We have it right sides together for my inner fabric. There we go. Like that. And I'm going to go ahead again and mark with a wonder clip. You can do it with a friction pin. So say you wanted to take a friction pin and mark on the fabric where it is that you need it to go from. You can absolutely do that. But I'm just going to take a wonder clip here and come over here to my outer fabric and be like, okay, that's where I stopped. Here goes the fire station. You can't hear them. All right, come over here. And then where did I stop on this side? Well, I stopped over here. So we're going to just put a little wonder clip on there. Again, if you wanted to do a little friction pin to see where you were supposed to stop, you can absolutely do that. But I'm just going to throw those on real quick. I'm also going to cut this thread. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just take our inner fabric and we're going to sew along the bottom of it. So I'm going to take a few. Oof, Courtney, iron it. Courtney, iron it. What are you doing? I know, Shelly. I love wonder clips. They're so good. There we go. All right. So that helped. Just going to wonder clip these fabric together. They are sitting nicely, but it is a little nice reassurance. There we go. I feel like this needs to scoot over a little bit. There, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna lay this back on there. I took the wonder clip off. That was my my marker. There it goes. All right, it's right there. All right, there we go. All right, and let's go stitch around the bottom of it. Wrong camera. There we go. All right. I like to do a little forward and back stitch on it. There we go. Oh, we're going to want to slow down because I got to go around curves. There we go. I'm at the end. I like to stop it when I come to the end. That way I can turn nicely. My needle's still down. My foot is up. That way I can turn. There we go. All right, and I know that right here is my stopping point. All right, stop. Go back one. There we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, so now, see if the camera wants to behave. There we go. All right, so now we have our outer fabric and we have our inner fabric. There it is. I was like, where are my notes? I threw them on the floor. There we go. All right, so we've got our outer fabric here all sewn nicely, so it's still right sides in, and then as well as our lining fabric right here, right sides in. All right, so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put the outer part. It's up to you. If you want to put the inner inside of the outer or the outer inside of the inner, I personally, you know what it is that we forgot to do that I didn't look in my notes, which we can do in a little bit. I forgot to leave an opening in the lining at the bottom. That way we turn everything right sides out. It's fine. I have a seam ripper. It's not a huge deal, but that's something I should have done. All right. Oh, thank you, Renee. She's so sweet. She's like, great demo. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's put this in here. I'm going to go ahead and fold out my lining fabric like this. So the point sticks out. Well, I guess I would want it. You know what? Let me go ahead and leave a little gap. Well, I got some snips right here. I'm just taking near the point, not at the point, but near the point of my lining fabric. And I'm just going to open it up. Just one little tear. So I've just snipped it just a bit like that. There we go. And that way I can go ahead and put it in there. And then I can just open up this little bit when I'm ready to put everything right sides out. Okay. All right. So we're going to put right sides together. Go meeting that point at the bottom. It's not a huge deal if it meets perfectly at the bottom, but we do want to meet it pretty well because at the top right here, we're going to be pinning it together. So we're going to be making sure those curves of that heart meet up really, really well, because that's what we're going to be sewing in a minute. Because remember, we only sewed the bottoms near our points earlier. So we want to make sure that those meet up. Here we go. And Wonder Clips to the rescue. If you haven't noticed, that and the electric scissors are always going to be nearby with me. There we go. If you want to cut off the extra little bit right there, you totally can right now. It's up to you. I usually wait until I've really sewn all the way around just to give myself that insurance, but you can if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, we're just going to pin all the way. So I usually like to meet up the middle of my heart right here, pin it, and then work my way out. Okay. I'm kind of like having to move back the batting so I can actually see where the fabric is. Have you ever noticed when you're quilting, your batting wants to shift? Because I didn't use any like 505 spray or anything like that. But even then, once you squish batting down, it wants to fluff up a bit, especially when it's a high loft one like this one is. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is going to be so cute. I'm excited about my new bag. All right, so now we've got one side pretty much pinned. So I'm going to keep working my way around to meet up the other side. We're going to make sure these little dips right here meet in the center too. Let me grab more Wonder Clips I ran out from earlier. There we go. Reapply. All right. Oh, where did I stop? Let's see. Seam rippers are your best friend. They really are. Are you sewing on the laser line? I am. Yep. So you can have your main line. I'll just do this. You can have your main line selected, or you could have a sub line. So I happen to have, I usually use both. My sub line was the grid earlier, but I just leave my main line on, and that's usually the one I know to follow. This is so cute. Here we go. All right, made my way back to the other side of the bag. If you haven't noticed, I'm being very precise with this because it's where we're at the tail end. I want to make sure it all meets up great, you know. I don't want to have the seam rip in because it will bother me if it does not lay perfectly. But how fast and easy is this bag? Honestly, all we have to do after this is sew the top of it, turn it, you know, birth your bag, as they say, turn everything right sides out, and then you can whip stitch the opening, or you can just go ahead and put it in your machine. I would say whip stitching it is going to give you a better, you know, bag at the end of it. I'm just going to machine sew. I usually machine sew. Who's looking inside my bag? What are they doing? It's probably one of them kids, you know. What are they putting in there? What are they getting out? Do I have snacks? That's their only concern. All right. That's true. That's actually very true. There we go. Go. We lost power. Oh no. Oh, y'all are getting ready for the storm. Y'all, if you were in the line of this crazy winter storm, I want you to be super careful, extra careful. You know, make sure you have any revisions. We're in Louisiana, so we're near Baton Rouge. We're not going to get like crazy bad. But I know further north, they definitely are. So please be careful. I know everybody in Texas, northern Texas, y'all be careful. It is supposed to be wild. Hopefully, you know what? We're going to say hopefully it's one of those things, hey Kim, that they say it's going to be terrible. You know how they do with the hurricanes. Oh, it's going to be terrible. And then like one leaf falls. We're going to say hopefully it's one of those situations. Knock on wood. Hopefully it's one of those. We don't know. So we're going to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. There you go. Can you tell I'm from Louisiana? Hurricanes, we're used to them. We're like, oh, again. All right, let's do this. There we go. All right, so I've pinned all the way around. Oh, this looks so good. Now I'm just going to open it up. Now, I should probably just take off my free arm on my, well, I use my embroidery unit a lot because with my machine, you turn it on and it'll let the embroidery arm, you know, get away from me while I'm trying to sew, and I use it as a tabletop. But I can completely take the whole thing off of it and have that free arm sewing, so that way I can just sew around it. But I don't feel like it's going to be too hard. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump on over to our sewing machine. This is going to be so good. You know, I'm excited whenever the voice starts changing. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start. You can really start anywhere you want, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start here. Why? Just because I want to. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Oh, we're going to go back a little bit. Go. All right. Sorry if I'm elsewhere. All right. So now I'm coming to an area that I need to actually open up like this. I'm going to come right here into this point. Sew down, bring up my foot so I can keep going around this circle. Stop, put up, turn, that, put back down, wonder clip off, and sew. There we go. All right, readjust. Oh my goodness, you can totally tell when I'm going through the side that doesn't have the ruffles because it's so thin. But I love the ruffles. All right, come down on point, put the foot up, turn. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Stop and readjust. Okay. So this is when taking that fur on would have been nice. Taking it off would have been nice. Ooh, I'm gonna readjust this just a bit. There we go. All right, we've made it all the way around. I'm gonna back stitch, cut. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, let's find the opening that we have in our lining. I'm so excited right now. I don't know if you can tell. We're gonna open it up a little bit more. Go, just clip a little extra threads. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, there we go. Let's pull everything out. Birth our bag, as they say. I wonder where that started from. I don't know, but it stuck with me, and that's what we're doing. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, I made the straps really long, and I'm actually kind of really glad about that because I love to be like a crossbody. Courtney, focus. All right. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. It is so cute. Oh my goodness. Focus, Courtney, focus. That's cute. Now, if you wanted to have a little structure to it, mine is very fabricy, soft, quilty. Like I wanted that loungy effect to it. You could absolutely put something like a stronger interfacing in it or some kind of a craft foam, you know. You could absolutely do that. Now, I know that I want to go around, especially to the inner parts. Let me show you. So especially to like the parts right here, I would like to go around on the inside of the bag and make sure everything is pushed out properly. So all of them, and then come around with my iron and really give it a nice, good iron to seal it on there. If you want to top stitch it, you absolutely can. But I look at that inner fabric and look at that outer fabric. Would you have done, this is the outer fabric, the hearts, or would you have done the strawberries? Because I think they both came out so good. So I'm just make sure Everything is pulled out where it needs to be pulled out. Everything is in there. Oh, that came out so good. Now, again, I just did the front of it with the ruffles. I did not do the back of it, but honestly, I think it looks really, really, really cute. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Again, I made my straps super long because, again, I really like whenever I can do like a little crossbody bag. That is precious. If you wanted to add a little tie right there, you absolutely could, because mine is just going to be wide open like this. If you wanted to add a pocket, you could absolutely add a pocket inside of it. But this came out so good. Oh, that's really, really cute. That is cute. I know everyone's like, that's cute. How fun is that? And this took no time at all. I think we are at an hour. Now, granted, some of it I did prep before, but what sewing project are you ever going to start and finish in an hour? Not many. So that is very, very cute. Again, this is the back of my bag. That's cute. Even if I wore it backwards, I don't think anyone would think anything, because it looks like, you know what it reminds me of? The little candies, just because it has all the little circles in there, or the little strawberries. How stinking cute is that? You could make your straps smaller. Oh, you could just tie them. You just want to tie them if you wanted to make it a shorter bag. But I want mine to be an adorable crossbody. I see 2 threads I need to cut. Those bother me. But how cute is that? I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's so plushy. That's cute. All right, guys, let me know. Are you going to make this? And have you ever done ruffles before? And how easy and fun are they? How easy and fun it is to use projector to be able to quilt. So many things. And how much do we love Wonder Clips? Single ruffer is perfect. Right, I think so too. Yeah, reminds me of a pillow. It does. It looks like I just lay this on my couch whenever I'm not using it. My car keys, my phone will be in there, my snacks. It'll be great. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Making something really cool for Valentine's Day. We are in the Valentine's spirit over here. I'm so excited to make so many more cool things. This is now my actual bag. You know what? My purse is small enough. The whole thing's going in there. Just the whole thing. Just going to go in there. She's like, no. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next week, or I'll see you Saturday for another video. I'll see y'all then. Y'all have a good day.